Yeah, meanwhile, a magician
That
kept us
means
busy in his cabin.
The three enemy armies are now advancing towards Tahau. President Toltuda, the head of state, has ordered the evacuation of all women and children from the capital and has begun strengthening the city's defense to increase its chances of withstanding the impending siege. When Baden tells you of your intention to go to Tahau, one of his friends offered a few words of caution. It would be unwise to attempt a landing at the capital, he warns. Heavy bow throwers have been positioned in every rooftop in Tau in case the city is attacked from the air. The Dark Lords captured Suentia in such a fashion, and the Tahawis have learned from their neighbor's misfortune. Skyships rarely visit Tahau, which makes it all the more likely that your craft would be mistaken for a hostile attacker. After long deliberation, you and Baden decide to leave the Skyrider in Navasari and journey to Tahau by horse. Nolrim is left in charge of the craft and crew with instruction to wait here for your return. If Tahau is besieged and he has not received word from you after 2 weeks, he is to return to Desi and report that your quest has failed. Early next morning, you and Baden climbs into the saddles of
okay. I'm going to write down 2 week time limit.
Yep. Early the next morning, Ewan Bainton climbs into the saddles of two white Anarian steeds provided by his friends and set off on your 2-day ride to Tahau. Less than an hour after leaving Navasari, you see a long line of wagons approaching. They are escorted by a troop of cavalry, and each one is crowded with women and children. Do you wish to stop and question these people, or to ride past them and press on with your journey?
Maybe they can tell something useful.
Yeah, let's stop and say hello.
The officer in charge of the mounted escort rides forward to meet you. He wears silvered Anarian mail and a winged helmet embossed with the crest of Tahau. "Hail, Captain," says Bainton, upon seeing his crown-shaped badge of rank. The man narrows his eyes and regards you both with suspicion. He is about to reach for his sword when a woman shouts from a leading wagon. "Bainton? Bainton, is that you?" Your companion recognizes a woman and returns away. "Lothar, by the stars, I had not expected to meet you here," he says in a surprised tone. The captain relaxes his guard and motions to the wagon to move on, anxious that his entourage is not delayed on the highway. You can fall in with us or save your sorry, it's the captain. You can fall in with us or save your reunion until we reach Navasari, he says courtly and rides on without waiting for reply. Lothar is a wife of Chiban, a famous Taoist magician. He was my mentor when I lived and studied in the city, says Benton. Do you wish to have Bainton talk to this woman, or would you rather, continue on your journey without delay?
Just let him talk to her. Like I said, maybe she can tell something useful.
Before we proceed, I need to be sure of something here. Because I just went through and I need to ask again instead of just keeping this secret and all that. How many errors was it that we had again? It was 6 as far as...
You used 2 on the last adventure and then you got 6 extra, so that would be 10.
Okay, let me see. That was 10 arrows, and finally, just to make sure I have not fucked anything up. Our current item holding was it 6 out of 8 or what?
No, there was 8 out of 8 because you had 2 meals.
Okay, fine. Now everything is coming together finally.
Good. Bainton rides alongside the crowded wagon and talks with Lothar as the procession continues on its way to Navasari. After a few minutes' conversation, she hands him a scrap of parchment and they bid each other farewell. They are the last of the evacuees, he says as you continue your ride north. They expect the enemy to reach Tahau in 2 days' time. They are already seeing Gyak scouts, and early this morning, a squadron of Crone was sighted high in the western skies. She advised us to steer clear of a village called Sidara. It's rumored to have already fallen to the enemy. She also gave me this. Bainton hands you the scrap of parchment. It contains a few lines of Anarian script, an address and a signature. It's an invitation to stay at Chiban and Lothar's house in Tahau. It may be useful when we reach the city gates. Okay, so you can add an invitation to your special items.
Let me see.
Okay, let me just write some of this stuff down. Lothar is the wife of whom?
The wife of Chiban, a famous magician.
Yes.
And I guess you also want the name of a village you're supposed to avoid.
Yes.
Sidara.
Just give me a moment. I need to write down the Sloban's teacher. Yes, big. Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I got the name of the village right. What did you say it was?
Sidara.
Sidara. Okay.
Right.
Because I heard Tidan.
Ah.
And then I looked at the map and there's no such thing as Tidan on my map.
Well, that's why you should avoid it. It's a village that doesn't exist. It's a strange place, to be sure. Anyway, we're continuing on. For 3 hours, you ride without pause or rest along the Tahau Highway. On either side, the whispering grasses of the Anari Plains stir lazily in the thin breeze of morning. Villages are few, but wherever there are trees, you're sure to find a group of huts nearby. The highway descends along a ridge towards a copse of stunted trees, where a circle of simple dwellings have been built around a well. As you approach, a bell is sounded and several peasants appear, each holding a basket of assorted wares, which they urge you to buy. Do you wish to examine these wares, or to continue through the village without shopping?
Let's
Or without stopping?
Let's continue.
Yeah, let's just continue. It sounded like we really need anything.
Yeah, our backpack's full besides. We need information. We don't really need any more equipment.
As we
Again,
are...
because like I just said, the backpack's full.
Yep.
You could take a look at it. They might have to have something useful, but still, it's not like we really need anything.
Oh, let's just keep moving.
As the hour of noon approaches, the rotted highway of khaki-colored earth rises gently towards a flat-topped house near the horizon. Outside of the entrance is a three-legged stand erected over a fire made of Gorkha's dung. A battered tin pot full of soup hangs from the crotch of the stand, and a group of farmhands stand in line waiting for the muddy liquid to boil. The smell of the fire is awful, and it has to be blown on ceaselessly to prevent it from going out. Close to the house is a dirt track which branches off the main highway and disappears to the west. A signpost, its wood cracked and twisted, points along the track. It reads Tahau, 95 miles away. Do you wish to use pathmanship?
Yes.
Immediately you sense that the signpost is pointing in the wrong direction. Tahau lies to the north, yet the signpost is pointing towards the river Churdas in the west. Do you wish to ignore this signpost and continue along the highway, or to question the farmhands?
Let's question the farmhands. Maybe someone's been fiddling with the signs. I mean, the Germans had paratroopers do that during the Ardennes offensive of 1944. It caused a lot of chaos.
I didn't know a strategy is such prominently used by Bugs Bunny could be that efficient in real life.
It could.
Well, what do you know?
It caused a lot of American soldiers to get lost and sometimes captured by SS troops.
Well, what do you two others say?
I say we question.
Yeah, sure. They might not have noticed that the wind has blown the sign around.
Like most southern Anarian peasants, these farmhands are simple folk. They have heard nothing of the war in the north and know nothing about the Dark Lord armies that are poised to assault their capital. All they are able to tell you is that a great many wagons carrying takas, or rich city folk, have traveled the road to Navasari in the last 10 days. They would be happy to share the humble meal of corn soup with you, but the smell of the dung fire has destroyed your appetite, and you refuse the offer politely. Bainton, who has been talking with the owner of the house, returns to the horse and nods to the signpost. It's pointing the wrong way. A few days ago, one of the Takas wagons ran into it, and nobody has bothered to fix it yet.
Oh, so it's probably an accident.
Yeah. With a wave, the farmhands bid you farewell as you urge your horse back onto the highway. You are now hungry, so you pounce at the first living thing you find that is not Bainton or your horses.
Okay,
I'll
good.
pounce you.
5 miles along the highway, you reach another junction where a cart track bears off to the west. A whitewashed stone marker at the side of the road says Sidara, 5 miles. Do you wish to follow the cart tracks to Sidara or to stay on the highway to Tahau?
Not Sidara.
Let's move on to Sahau.
Yes.
The afternoon passes swiftly as you ride across endless miles of treeless grassland. You stumble upon no village or hamlet and spend the hours listening to Bainton's account of recent events in Sommerlund and the last lands. 3 years have passed since you were last in the land of your birth, and you are hungry to hear all that has transpired since then. It is an hour past sunset, and night is drawing its black cloak around you when you see a flickering red light on the road ahead. It is the village of Chardy. A great fire roars in the heart of Guyuk's tavern in Chardy, inviting the travel sore to stop and warm their weary bones. You decide to stay overnight, and as soon as you have stabled your horses, you enter the tavern to ask the price of a room. The tap room is surprisingly quiet. It is full of villagers and farmers, but they are a sullen crowd, content to sit in silence and brood over their glasses of lovka, a strong Slovenian rye spirit named after the town where it was first distilled. Guyuk, the tavern owner, greets you with a nervous nod of his shiny bald head and shows you to a table. There are no bars or counters in Anarian taverns. Instead, the customers sit at long banqueting tables and wait for the owner and his staff to serve them. He smiles uneasily as he answers your inquiry about a room. A single room with a bed would be 12 loon each. And do you wish to pay that? You can still pay.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
And
Let's see.
12 loon equals 3 gold crowns.
Okay, 12 loan equals. Yeah, we can pay that.
Right, so do you wish to pay it in loon or in gold crowns? Well, you
Gold
can.
Pay
crown.
the loon because we have it.
Well, no, because as far as I remember, you only have 10 loon because you choose to throw away the other 5.
Yeah, leaving them behind and all.
So that would be instead be 3 gold crowns.
Yes.
Or would that be... Actually, that would be 6 gold crowns because you have to pay for both you and Baindon, right?
Yeah, true.
Okay. Guyuk gives you each a key to your room and offers you both a glass of lavka on the house. Gratefully you accept and down the warming liquor in one gulp. You notice that at the far end of your table a man sits with his 2 young sons. Apparently you can sense familial relationships now. They appear to be gambling with a group of plains farmers seated opposite, although you can see no money changing hands. Do you wish to move along the table and sit next to them, engage Guyuk in conversation, or order some food?
I don't care, it's up to you two.
Well, there must be a reason it draws attention to my father and his son, so yeah, I say we look into it.
Grenadier, say something. Ooh.
Dearie, are you still there?
Yeah, well, it seems that there's mostly votes but just sitting around, so let's order some food. We are probably hungry.
Alright, then that makes you the tiebreaker, Warlord.
Well, I said, okay, let's order some food then.